from this map. This is a very difficult map to play on T side, especially versus a team like NiP. This is one of their strongest maps. Obviously, why they're picking into it. I think C9 is lucky here of starting on the CT side. I think they definitely need to get some rounds on the board, get their players activated. And really to what Adam pointed out, right? I think the biggest thing wasn't necessarily that the players didn't show up, but it was a little bit off in terms of timing, in terms of trade game, in terms of, I think overall round approach was fine, but the smaller details were not there for C9. But we are live with map number 2. C9 starting on that CT side. There's only one set of nades. I was going to say a kit and a smoke on Messi. 2 sets for NiP on Twist and Hampus. 2 smokes and flashbangs. Leaning towards Underpass and A long here, which C9 has 2 members of. They play very defensive though, so rotations will definitely be pretty quick, especially for Seppa that's holding. He just moved up actually. Yeah, so 3 guys, it looks like, towards that A bomb site now.
They're getting pretty deep, looking for that contact approach. Floppy's in a pretty good spot here. It's really difficult to check that because you've got so many other angles at the same time you're looking at the site. But Flopsy's going to be pretty comfortable. Floppy turned it away because of the flashes getting sent out there. And look at the push here. The ground gained by NiP is really good. Have the whole site under control. 3 versus 2 after plan. Great start. But Alex and Esatag are playing together from long and bathrooms, so definitely a good chance for them to recover this situation still.
It's still definitely doable. It's a very hard spot to be in though. Where did the kits end up being dropped? I guess it's on the other side as well, so I mean, still, I was going to say it was still a possibility. I feel like we notice more and more teams nowadays kind of plan towards that CT spawn area, expecting people to just come fast flank. Especially if you haven't cleared off long. I think same could be said on a map like Train, for example, where you end up planning the bomb depending on where you have ended up going from. If you come from Ivy, for example, you don't have decon connection. Maybe the argument could be made there of maybe you're planning towards CT connector instead because you don't have that vision and map control information. NiP, though, keeps up the track that they had on Dust 2. Can't remember now if they won both pistols on Dust 2 or not.
Both teams won their T pistol. I literally just checked that.
Great, yeah.
I was wondering myself. Now let's see if they can win a consecutive round, because there is a big investment here from Cloud9. Alex will leave $700 in the hole, which may contribute to an AWP later on. But outside of that, there's a big buy here, and Esatag will get things kicked off with an MP9 headshot onto Hampus. Mezzi's holding a flash, perhaps for Floppy to peek from barrels. So we've got a setup from Cloud9 on this B bomb site, and despite the man lost in Hampus, NiP are taking their map control slow. By the way, the internet told me that Haribo is actually German, not French, so my apologies.
Haribo exists, I feel like, everywhere. I buy Haribo on occasion over here as well. Maybe there are some distributions though. Sure that there's a... They're made with sugar, probably Europe, coarse syrup over here. But yeah, this is looking like, Messi might have some fun here, depending on timing. He doesn't, though. Alex does get the trade. And with NiP being a man down already, they're opting for that AXQ to throw the smokes down at least, taking their time, which I was going to say I quite like just to see the reaction from C9. But this is a good round from Cloud9, winning the eco round. Oh, and I heard a type there. Might be a call for a timeout.
There's the Haribo. Looks like Tang Fastic to me.
Where are you linking this? Are you now just very active in the chat? Is that where you're linking?
No. It's behind Alex on his webcam. There's a shelf over his left shoulder to our right.
I need to check that out again.
Big box of Haribo, man. I'm just inspecting people's their environments. We got Dan in witness protection. We got Alex getting the Haribo out. Mezzi all the way up. Nork knows he's in trouble, firing blindly and hoping. The Gaben says no, and Mezzi might do more here. Gets 2 kills for his troubles. NiP don't know the makeup of the rest of the team. Ampus. That Deagle is a flex. I expect a Chinese collector to have that with the LGB stickers. Well then, there's 3 more Deagles to go for NiP. They've got some smokes with which to create some space. It's on rare occasion you see a smoke ahead of the toilets towards A to take the sniper angles away. We'll look to see if that comes into play later on in this game. Oh, S-tag. We'll see that Hampus is close. Alex delivers 1 shot, 1 kill. Goes back to jump peeking, albeit in a different position. Got to be careful though, because Twist is lurking as well. Look to create some space for himself with the grenade, but he's going to get caught out, or is he? That was a chance for Plopsky. That could have been, and maybe should have been a bomb plant at that point. But he's nosed it right up, as we might say, in East London. Twist now on a 1 versus 3. Still with 30 seconds. The bomb commits him and pretty much everybody else to the A bomb site. So it will be nightmare mode for the challenge. They'll get there in the end. So about $12,000 of damage to Cloud9, but they'll force NiP into eco territory.
When you talk about a team being new, for example, we see here the peak that S-Attack does. When you look at positioning that C9 has with Alex on the bomb site there, you make the argument that they have a good crossfire setup. So with S-Attack peeking there, you know, that's really something that Alex should be doing, and probably something they should be talking about after, of like, how do we actually peak angles when we have the positions that we have? Small things that newer teams would struggle with. But works out nonetheless for C9, so still a stable round on the board. Another entry, this is a full save really from NiP. It's a deagle on res.
So you saw Alex threw a Molotov to ramp there. That was one of the more classic lineups. That's the one I use as well. I'm pretty sure there are a few, there's 1 or 2 faster ones than that, but that would definitely be the most consistent one. It's hard to mess that one up, whereas sometimes some of the others won't always land. But we'll see how common that will be. I think it was the big guys who would get a second one towards the party as well to make things worse. Speaking of making things worse, this is supposed to be an eco from Ninjas in Pyjamas. Suddenly they've got a 3 versus 2, rifles and SMGs to be collected. And Alex and Floppy are going to have to play together here. It's going to be hard for him to defend both bomb sites without risking losing a player to a trade frag.
50 seconds left and C9 opts to push here. I'm a little bit confused as to the call, because they should know that NiP should be really, like, not even armors, really much on a very safe round. The fact that it's a 3-on-2 now, I'd still say it's pretty safe. You know, Floppy, they have a good spot, and just the fact that NiP doesn't have armors is going to be very difficult for them to hit this bomb site, but definitely a little bit too close for comfort. Yeah, there we go. But you never discount the deagles. It's always the round opener in some regards.
See the Haribo? Oh crap, it's gone again.
God damn it, I keep on forgetting now. Okay.
Let me go back. I want to see the Haribo. Show us the Haribo.
Did Messi have like a cider there? Is that like a UK cider up top left?
Crap, man, I wasn't looking to that one. So we've talked about this light fixture already. And the diapers. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, it's peaches. Yeah, they're all right. That big box like that, though, I don't know. Yeah, look at that. What is that up top left? It looks like cider.
No, it looks like a fragrance or something. You know, he's out trying to get these chicks.
Getting the headshot in CS and getting the chicks outside of CS. Damn.
Let's go.
First weapon round now. Round number 5. Twist is already tagged low down to 17. Not a lot of utility here for NiP. Oh, another wall from S-Tag. Good start from him. It's a little bit quiet on Dust 2, so we'll see if Overpass is a better map. But already off the bat, and again, like, I guess Overpass is a little bit more difficult for TC in general, but compare it right off the bat, round 5. C9 has at least gotten a little bit more entries, seem a little bit more polished. We do get to start on the seat side here, though.
Yeah, they're really hoping that there's going to be some kind of move here from Cloud9. Because they really do need some way in, but of course Cloud9 can play pretty passively. I really like the position of Mezzi. It's always a nice spot, really deep angle, and you can kind of play off of the site player, which would be S-Tag in this instance, although S-Tag's pretty low. Ooh, I think a shadow was spotted there indeed. So Alex knows that Popsky's definitely lining up something. He's creeping forward and trying to find this, catches Popsky. And there's more to be had there as well. That's pretty damn strong. Almost gets the... I don't even know how many degrees that was. That's flick, but it's going to be lights out for NiP. And they really struggled off the bat there. And I think that's that is really part of the struggle on this map. You know, just the CTs can get favorable position and timing so easily off of the initial nades thrown at the start. You know, you can have those nades that slow down the push into the sewers. You can have the nades that slow down the pushes into the fountain and playground position, which means that the CTs could, in theory, be in all of these forward positions. So that just slows you down a lot on the T side. So it's good to see that Cloud9 are you know, abusing that quite effectively. You see one of those Molotovs coming through. Direct challenge, though, from NiP as they push forward.
Mezzi having a look-see, an aggressive look-see, but he'll have to fall back quickly as he was up alone. The Eagles are out again for Ninjas in Pyjamas. They've been dangerous already. No one in connector for either side. Not sure where the AWP is just yet. Alex is standing on the flower bed. Oh, he's on the site, actually. So just ahead of where Alex is standing, you can see people come out of divider, come out of connector, or around the corner. It's a nice angle. And he's been landing his shots. Scoped on the inside now.
Yeah, I mean, the argument you always make with you have an opera like this is like consistency versus flashy plays, right? And I think, you know, really what you're looking for initially, which is why I think Device never gets talked about as much as, for example, as simple as Saiwu is, because Device is just so consistent. You never really see him getting the kills either. It's just like, oh, look, he has 30 frags. Same could be said about Dupree in some cases too. So I think for what C9, you know, they have a really...
Oh, boy.
Damn. They have a very fire-heavy team, so you know really what you're looking for in Opera with C9 should not really be a lot of aggression. It should just be the consistency of getting the 1-2 kills when they're hitting the bomb sites.
That was a painful dry peek from Mezzi, and that leaves Alex in a lot of trouble. The numbers game now overwhelming for NiP, but the support flashbangs will certainly help. Flash from the back from Zeppa leaves S-Tag to clean up the A bomb site. That will definitely limit the bleeding for Cloud9. Ninjas in Pyjamas seem to be fishing to find out if there was any of those classic setups to the AWP and the rifle in the toilets. Sometimes you have the rifler in the middle looking at divider, and AWP holding one or two angles inside. But again, great flashbang support from Zeppa, allowing S-Tag to clean up. Without that flash, he was in a hell of a lot of trouble despite his skill. There's a monster smoke from Cloud9. So that smoke, if you do it crouching, it's a clean smoke in the tunnel. But if you do it standing, where you aim slightly to the right, it can leave a slight gap on the side, which you can potentially abuse if a T stands next to it. Generally speaking, you see the crouching variant.
Yeah, and Dan pointed out as well, you know, this map is pretty easy for CTEs to get the initial approach of, you know, locking all the sites down. And we see here for NiP, they actually do smoke off the initial molly up top mid. C9's ready for it, though. They heard the smoke bloom, so do you see a nice little long boost here. Gets, again, another entry from C9, something we didn't see a lot of on Dust 2, so not a good start.
I wonder now what the approach will be on the A bomb site for Alex and Mezzi. Bearing in mind they've fully committed to the long position, I want to see how they'll approach the toilets, because it could be compromised, for example. They've put the smoke down towards divider. Mezzi will make his way here. This is very wallbangable, by the way. We did see some spray, I think, with the AKs in rounds prior, but no one's in position just yet because NiP are creeping up that long position, maybe expecting rotations being had over here. This is one of the positions I was talking about with Alex. Again, the little plant bed behind him is another option for him. S-Tag now tried to hold down some space, but he could be moving into a crossfire here, so it's a funky play from Cloud9, but it looks pretty strong for him at the moment. Again, a flashbang support. This time it will be denied, though. 4-on-3. Alex starts to move through with the Deagle, and it starts to collapse for Cloud9.
With that said, though, Floppy able to get a quick 2K, and forward position does help a lot, and Twist is not ready for this. Nork does what he can to try to keep this chance alive, but there's no time, and that's all he can do to save the AWP, which I think he's able to do indeed.
Alex, he didn't hit the shot there, but he's had a lot of success on that short play on A there. NiP keeps on peeking him with nades up in their hands, whether or not it's timing or not. It's definitely been an issue. I think if NiP gets to a point at least when they, you know, get to that later stage of the round and they finally get to execute with hopefully 5 members alive or even getting an entry on C9, I think it's going to have more success. But they've been really running into these executes with only having 4 members alive. With sure they have utility, but with C9 having full man advantage. They've done a really good job so far with the holds.
Would you play with the lights on or in the dark, Robin?
I mean, when I was a kid, I used to play with lights off, but you know, as I'm older now, like lights on. I can't do it anymore, man. Like just dry eyes and stuff like that. You know, it's awful. I'm a big fan of the gaming glasses too, man. Like it wasn't just for sponsors. Like they actually do really help with eye fatigue and stuff like that. Of sitting in the PC along, especially if you have contacts like I do.
Yeah, I have three sets of glasses, and one of them I have the blue filter in them. I was just impatient with the other ones; it would have taken longer to do. So I do have a pair, which I can use on occasion here, but I haven't used them too much.
I have the nerdy ones, the yellow tint. You know.
Oh, like the Bears.
Yeah. But his are at least, you know, proper glasses. Mine doesn't have the strength in it, so I still use contacts and I just wear these when I'm on PC. Obviously not on broadcast. It's bad enough that's all the photos that you have of me as a player wearing the speed, you know, glasses. That's really, you know, they're very speedy, very fast. Make it look fast. It's like I'm riding a bike. It's a full buy here from NiP. Well, a twist at least on the AK. Half buy for the others. Knock is down to 50 as well, but we know that he obviously ran out of time. Kept the weapon. But it's another round where NiP is not getting a lot done. They get map control, but that's about it. Not getting any entries or any kills outside of that before they hit the bomb site. I think C9's done a really good job with their initial holds here on the CT side. We also know as well that NiP's been focusing a lot on this A bomb side. So we'd like for them to essentially swap here a little bit. Let's put the C9 guys at B to the test.
I've got to say, well, two things. That second kill from Mezzi around the lamp, that was such a clean burst. Very confident that that was enough to do the job there. But also, Cloud9 have had a lot of flashbang support for the AWP and the plays in general around the toilet, some of which I think are coming from the B bomb site, but they're catching out NiP every time, which is certainly helping with this scoreline of 7-1. So that's definitely a detail that I've enjoyed. And there are double mollies.
Yeah. So normally, so that's the argument you make. So normally when you smoke off the first one, like the intent here really is, you're not really giving anything away since you didn't smoke off the other molly. So even in terms of information, like in terms of what you actually got out of, you know, smoking that wasn't a lot. You can make the argument that normally you do it as well to just get away from the HE angle. But if you have a good spawn, you can smoke it and take a sharper right instead. They're getting, in terms of map control, like C9, we've seen the same approach from them, you know, a lot, where they just done the double molly and they go very, very defensive right off the bat. We've seen on occasion they've done a double boost on like long and stuff like that, but I think because Alex have had so much success in getting the entries of just playing that the way they've been playing, why change it?
Yeah.
And it's very much the same positioning here as well. We see, you know, the three members. NiP's not focused a lot on B, so C9 feels very comfortable with sticking three members here right off the bat.
Ooh. Here we go, all the action around Banana. That's going to be very difficult. Rez gets the double around the corner, and it's going to be a afterplot situation for NiP, a much needed opportunity to win a round. Most of Cloud9 coming from, well, all the Cloud9 coming from CT spawn, one from Bank, two from the steps so far. Oh, Alex, yeah, he's performing right now, and Floppy as well, he's been on point. And Nork has got 4 HP, man. This is not a good look for him. Oh man, this is going to be tough. He's going to go for the wide swing there, and Zephyr will take him down. And yeah, I you know, back to your point, I really like the fact that they're going passive, because if it works, it's really awesome. Because, you know, there's always going to be the question as to the fact that, you know, the Ts will have to not only they'll have to use a smoke a lot of the time on that molly, because if they don't do it, then the amount of positions that the CTs could have is really powerful. To have to then think, well, we have to kind of like the amount of risk to clear all of those positions without nades is too great. You have to kind of respect it. It takes time. So it's great to see that this approach is working out for Cloud9. They slow down NiP. They force them into spots where they have less utility.
And this is what I was talking about from NiP. You see them smoke off the molly this time around, and it goes like sharp right. So it's a little bit faster of a default here. Obviously, we see the tendency from C9 as well. They have messing underpass this round. And even in terms of positioning from C9, they actually thought there was going to be a B play this round based on positioning. But Messi being down here. He gets the 2 kills again, so very much what we've seen so far this half. I was going to ask you, Dan, do you want to change your prediction again? Are you back on the C9 train?
I don't think. I don't think so. I think I have to lock it in, man. I can't be going all over the place. I can't be doing that.
This is why you don't go back on your word, man. You just stick your guns. You would have been called, a genius had you, made this prediction.
That's true. But now I'm just a fraud because.
Yeah. I mean, now you're getting nothing.
And Rez still alive for the time being. Will Alex's position be checked for? Well, it will be one way or another. Oh, he's just about missed his shot. If he pressed P before he pressed mouth 1. The Tech 9, though, might be enough. Oh, we're down to the 1 versus 1, actually. 29 seconds. He's got a little time. He's spotted Zephyr jiggling, and that'll be enough. 1 bullet more, and Rez has a second round, but not this time.
What's going on? Oh, my God. Definitely just as soon as you say something about a Castle Curse, it just goes south right off the bat. I can't believe that. The amount of timing. Still around win on the board from C9, but
I would love to see the enemies flashed on the scoreboards. Because, again, there's just been like the support flashes on the Cloud9 side have been so clean. Like Alex helping Mezzi out of connector and so on. It just like hit every single time, I feel like.
I like that stat they show at the end of the game because they showed that as well on Dust 2. We kind of saw that NiP had flashed Cloud9 twice as much as Cloud9 had flashed on NiP on Dust 2. Sure, obviously very dominant showing there as well, but definitely tells the story for sure.
We can see that Cloud9 started 4 players on the B bomb site on this round. We can see Alex is still downstairs. There was a HE towards the squeaky door as well, but that's quite a dry peek from Hampus. They won't commit behind it. Wonder what the blown off door tells them. Zephyr having a look-see, and Alex comes through as well to say hello. And Ninjas in Pyjamas don't really have position to do anything on A, save for Nork, who creeps through a smoke around the toilets.
Yeah, and to your point here, James, obviously, what you saw C9 there starting a lot more members of B. It comes really into the show. It's still a 3-on-3, and Nork is walking up, but it comes really into that C9s feel very comfortable of being able to hold A. And just expecting that, NiP to start hitting the B bomb side a little more. The timing here is unbelievable for Knock. Damages Alex down to 1 HP. And still does damage to Messi as well. 22 on him. Still a dire situation here for NiP. We have 55 HP on Plopsky and 24 on Res. No smokes. Molly and 3 flashbangs. That's a great start, though. Makes it a 2-on-2. And now it's very much in favor of NiP. About to get the bomb down here eventually as well. And the man that we're looking for is definitely as a tag on the flank.
Plopsky's waiting for a bait shot from Alex to run distraction. Or he'll just bait him himself, but not going to overcommit. Change his angle now. I'm not sure if Alex has seen any of this.
And Alex is so smart here. Obviously, he knows as well that he's just waiting for Esatag to come over from the flank. Now Esatag is in position. Alex wants to start clearing some stuff. I would argue that maybe we wanted to wait a little bit more. But yeah, that's a good round from NiP. 2-on-3 situation makes that happen. Starts to work a little bit on the B, even though they fall back and hit A eventually. There is a new approach at least this round from them. C9 not ready for it.
And slowly but surely, we get NiP starting to gain some rounds and making this look a lot more competitive.
I mean, C9 also doesn't have a lot of money, so when we talk about like the half, this is a very important round from NiP. Sure, they're 9-2, they're 9-2 up. This is a potential of an eco round. Could make it a 9-3, potentially even a 9-5. So then we're talking a pretty decent half so far by NiP if they manage to make that happen. 6 rounds on T side, we don't say no to that.
CS Tag was looking for Zephyr to move sideways for a while there. Maybe lost in translation.
No, and it comes, man. You have to call it 5 times.
Well, and there you go. The big right eye swing there on Monster.
Another super cool round from NiP. We kind of see, if you look at the minimap here, I mean, we see them doing the same kind of start as well on the A default. It's just, what is it? I think it's Rest that's up in A there, and then once he gets a connection, even if it dies there, I'm pretty sure that the play is, let's just go as soon as he sees someone, let's go A and hit B. First round again for NiP. hitting that B-bomb site. It should be a save round here from C9, trying to save that AWP at least, because they're going to be forced on a save. So a slow start from NiP, but starting to get the hang of it here at the later stages of the path.
Good save coming through there, Cloud9. And it does feel like Cloud9 need to have a strong CT side. It really does. Like, I think you were highlighting before that the T side can be quite the struggle on this map. And I feel like Cloud9 have been doing a lot right with the openings, and they've kept things pretty simple as well, or at least it really appears that they've tried to. I think you mentioned this too. They've been fairly passive off of a lot of their openings, which is great in the sense of that. Overpass, you can get really complicated if you want to be. You can get super nuanced with all of the kind of little setups that you run, like in bathrooms, and then there's like all these fallback setups, or there's just loads of things you can do. But you can also keep it simple too, and that's what they've been doing and been working mostly. But now comes NiP and the Resurgence. Should they win this round, they're gonna crush the economy of Cloud9. They could have a great run. But at the same time, their economy is ruined, and they're going to be reset on that OS bonus, so they're going to get super screwed if they lose this round. I feel like this round is going to be very, very telling for us.
Is that how you're going to base your prediction off of that, Dan?
My prediction is not changing now. Stay with NiP now.
Same round though from NiP here. We see Rest already up in mid, you know, same smokes and stuff like that, taking some space, as they know as well. C9 has been playing this very defensively, so with C9 not changing the way that they played, you know, Rest is getting a lot of free map control here. And if we were to judge from what they did last round, they waited for his contact, and then they went for this monster push. And this is when it happens. So we'll see here the move. Oh man, they're ready for it this time around though. Good positioning from Alex, gets the first, and he's really the kingpin that we talk about. You expect him to be kind of close right or close left, not a deep angle with the AWP that we saw there.
Great awareness from him in decision making. Immediately goes towards take short. He can now allow his teammates to rotate and focus on Monster, where he knows one of the two players is. He knows one is A and one is Monster. So we'll just make sure there's no rotation from short. Allows the team to rotate in. And NiP don't know where the rest were on that occasion. And Plopsky finds himself alone now with the AK-47. Maybe a lack of data on this new NiP squad makes things a little harder on this Cloud9 squad, makes things a little harder for NiP. So many new roles, hard to counter. And if you do it on the fly, it's a nice transfer from Plopsky. 1v4, cut in half now. Alex and Mezzi remaining, eat some flashbangs, but nobody wants to swing. They want to play together. They want to trade frag, flash of his own. 13 seconds to probably get 2 kills here. See Alex playing from the back. 8 seconds. Does he commit to the bomb plug? Going for the fake, hops up, quick look. And now surely Mezzi turns the corner because he can't come off this one. It's a guaranteed round at that point, whether Alex faces or not. 10 for Cloud9 to the 3 for NiP.
That was really close. That would have been 1 versus 4 and the 8 for Plopsky had he pulled it off. Was looking pretty likely there had he got the kill on Alex. Sure, Messi was in a good position there as well. But yeah, we see here as well, Alex in the first, snappy aim on the second one as well, gets twist. Same approach. That's a little bit of old school thinking for CS. When you have a round that works, you do the same thing again, not expecting your opponents to think that you're going to do the same round again twice. But C9, they're ready for it. And we still see the change from C9. They wanted to showcase that, hey, we're going to be aggressive. But if we look at again on the minimap, we see the positioning from C9 is very much towards B. So it was very much just an aggressive fake. And then falling back to their usual ways. So playing defensive on this A-bomb site. I'm still surprised because reality here should be like the way that the CTs are giving the T so much space here for you to get a chance to always execute with nades. Like, I'm surprised that NiP only has 3 rounds, honestly. It really comes to show how well, to James's point, how well they've been doing with the trade game and even flashing for each other in holding these bomb sites.
Ooh, nice couple opening kills there. This is exactly what NiP needed. able to get that bomb planted in the 5 versus 3. It looks like C9 are pretty locked out at the moment, so it feels like this is pretty secured. And with the money as it is, Cloud9 already called the save. And NiP, they hear the running. They know what's up. They're going to try to hunt these weapons down. And they themselves need to be cautious because there is another round to play and they do want to have full buy themselves. And their money's not great, so...
By Floppy getting the kill there, it kind of forces Tease to kind of, you know, not stop the chase. Yeah.
Go for the chase with the pit.
No way!
Oh no, 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 no.
No way! No way! Yes! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh, they got carried away.
Wheel. The scroll wheel, man! Oh, that's a disaster.
I didn't think they pulled that off. I thought that NiP still had players like, in position. I mean, I guess they did, but they just, I mean, they smoked the bomb, they just stick it, and the spray didn't work.
The jump! Yeah, the mouse is going out the window, man. That mouse is over. Let's buy a new one. In the garbage.
Oh, that
This is
hurts.
why you don't use jump on scroll wheel. I know that it's nice for bunny jumping and stuff, but rounds like that cost you games. Oh, man. Well,
Did they go through? Oh, I think he did. Yeah, you know what the smoke's for? The smoke is for the boost to look towards short tunnel. So nice read. He's got the sound cues as well of them all falling back, but he kind of read it was 3 people.
Oh, that round, man.
I can't believe it. I'm just like...
Yeah, still thinking about it.
Now I'm like, let's just go to the other half, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Still 1 round left to be played. Even though it was a C9 win, we look at the money and the state of their economy, and it's in shatters. It's a really bad last weapon round for them. So definitely still in favor of NiP. They get the entry here as well. So 5-on-4 now. Back to basics with the A hits. They should have won last round. They was very nicely done with the execute. See if they can get away with this one, make it an 11-4 half at least. With a few more rounds to play with. There we go, 11-4. That was a really quick execute. All members from C9 was there at the same time. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with the second half.
We're back for the second half. Well, NiP should probably have a few more rounds than they do now, but such is life. I just watched back that defuse on the stream, and I saw that Klopski's jump was like mid-spray as well. We were just discussing off camera. Sometimes you know your mouse wheel's in a weird place when you're going to click mouse 1. It's going to do something with the mouse wheel as well, but to be in the middle of a spray is very strange indeed, and maybe we'll try and make amends with a kill through the short B tunnel. Man, advantage early for NiP.
Yeah.
They've lost the bomb site though, completely.
That was a nice timing push by C9. As soon as Alex goes down there, he calls, let's just go up monster. And obviously NiP doesn't have anyone on the bomb site, opting for that short control instead. So good position here. Nock knows about it though, so... Oh no, he gets baited!
Zatag trying to chase down Rez as well. There's that short push coming in, but it's... Oh, wow. Zeppa's going to be able to take both of them down. And what a crazy series of frags between these two teams. It leaves it to twist for NiP. And there goes the smoke, the pressure on the bomb. He's got a kid as well. Is he actually holding this? He is. Here comes the knife, though. He's getting stabbed. Goodbye, Zeppa. Getting 4 kills in this round. This is a really nice series of kills for him. And that actually brings him to 9 frags. So, you know,
Yeah.
I didn't actually realize he wasn't having much success on that first half.
It wasn't more so that he didn't have much success. Like he had, I think, 1 kill because NiP went A every round in the beginning, and then they started going B at the end. And obviously, with the shutdowns that Cloud9 was having, Zeppa never really needed to do much. But it's nice, nonetheless, for him to get a 4 kill on this pistol here. He was quiet on those too, so nice for him to get some action here.
That's rough for NiP. They really needed a good start going into this half, just a clean start to get their mental game in order as well as getting a lead on economy. That's a pretty good opening shot from Rez though, but Alex can do one better. We do have Suez control here for NiP, so they've got a decent amount of info despite being down a player right now, and they may actually read this rotation. It depends on how active Nork and Hampus are towards the A side of the map.
Not a lot of utility though on NiP, so still going to be a very difficult hold, even if they do make the right call of putting 3 guys here. You see on C9's end, there's a lot of utility left to be done here, to be thrown. So they have the initial push to just hit the bomb site, but they're going to have a little bit more utility left to kind of hold off NiP as well. They're taking it their time though. I actually really like this play from C9. They didn't use any utility. They kind of know as well. There's not getting re-smokes from NiP on the monster area as well. Kind of is a tell that maybe NiP doesn't have a lot of utility. So why give it away that you're coming instead of just walking out if no one's peeking?
Minimal time to respond. Absolutely minimal time for Ninjas in Pyjamas. And this may be a short half the way things are going. Ampus no longer wanted to be a part of this. That leaves Nork with the best scout in the game to fall away. There are actually, in fairness, a lot of amazing scout skins, but this is the only one I'll ever use. Obvious reasons. 13-4. Cloud9 storming back into this series. If you haven't noticed, under the radar, under the maps, we can see the map picks. +2 was the first one. If you're joining us late, Overpass is where we are now, and then Train will be the decider. Should it be required? Should Cloud9 force it?
Knock also jumped there at the end. I wonder if that was also scroll wheel or if he just want to get in another position. But yeah, 13-4. And it's a full save round here from NiP. So unless a miracle happens, it's going to be 14-4. Very much of an uphill battle here. See what C9 chooses to do. There's 3 nades though in the side of NiP going towards that B bomb site.
A lot of players here ready for NiP though, looking ready to respond to
These nades could do a lot of damage. If Topsy spots him here on timing, oh no, it's gonna be too late. Yep. I don't know, I'm not a fan of like this. I know why you do it, but we saw that from C9 last round that they walk in and that spot is not great for that. So the nade stack did not work out that time around. I think you're better off holding the pillar if you're gonna do some of that and just try and nade the site then. It's a good round again there from C9 though, so we'll see if NiP has any gas left in the tank. First weapon round is coming up.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like it's the case that you yourself are just like, this is a write-off, and I'd rather just mentally give up on this map, especially if everything feels like it's going wrong. Not to say that's in an NiP or in any sense giving up, but there is that sense that you can have of nothing's working right now, and that kind of can eat away at you a little bit. And you can see that seems to be a sentiment that you can see on the faces of the NiP players at the moment, as we see them really struggling to find anything back into the game. And just like if this would have at least killed a bunch of players, even if they still lose the round, at least then it feels like something's happening. But they just get wiped out. Everything they're trying is not working so far. So it's certainly a difficult spot for the Ninjas at the moment.
We do have a tactical call though. We'll see if it's from C9 or NiP. But as I pointed out, first weapon round on the board. We do have an AWP and knock. Good utility as well in the hands of NiP, considering it's the first buy round. C9 Sand, obviously fully kitted. We do have 3 Galilus though as like a bit of a bonus, but we talked about that a little bit yesterday, and I'd make the argument, especially on a map like Overpass, that Galilus are actually not that bad. There's a damage, sure, it's not a one-shot kill, but you make the argument that's neither is an M4. So pretty even in terms of firepower. We'll see what they have in store for us here. NiP opting for starting 3 guys towards B with Res and Knock being a little bit aggressive in the middle.
Meanwhile,
from C9, yeah.
I remember when this map first came out, that corner where we just saw a boost, Edward on Na'Vi would always jump peek that, and no one ever, in any of the matches I watched, no one would ever punish him for that.
I'm sorry, this is so smart. They know that normally an Opera just peeks bathroom angle, so the fact that just walking in here, sure, Rex is also here to help him out, so it's not going to work out. This is a really smart play from Alex. Ooh.
Yeah, that was one of the classic setups that we mentioned in the first half. Well, there are 3 players alive for NiP, trying to stay alive at this point, as Alex harasses down the connector with some spray. See, Hamper's still on short B, which allows, for the time being, 2 players to sit on the A bomb site for Ninjas and Pyjamas. 45 seconds on the clock. Still a lot of utility on these Cloud9 players, so choke points can be smoked up, which allows them to focus on the site itself, if that's what they choose to do. See Floppy quietly creeping away. That flash will tag Hampers, as we can see, but it won't deter him from his position. So Twist will have a shadow advantage with this angle, just ever so slightly, but Cloud9 will look for a play here should they push. 19 seconds and it becomes a must as the Molotovs come through.
Flashes up, Twist in a really important spot here to try to defend Plofsky with the bait, able to take down one, and there's the lineup for Twist. He was set up to succeed thanks to Plofsky, and easy end to the round. And maybe, just maybe, NiP off the back of that can string together some success. There is still some money that they need to erode away from Cloud9's coffers. However, oh, who's this from? Oh, this is from NiP. Okay.
So it's a gamble. In a way, I like it when they don't tell us, because that way we can kind of guess of like open fate and call the timeouts. Might be an NiP one, might be a C9. They might have something fun planned for us here.
It could always be one of those ones as well, where it's like you just want to freeze out the team that's just had some success. From Cloud9 could call it just to mess with NiP, for example. Or to focus people so they don't get complacent. You have a huge lead as well. And
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can do that. Let's say that, the Plopsky round that he was in a, a 1-on-4 situation would have aced. Like, you can make the argument there that maybe you call a timeout after that, because probably his nerves and, the mental state there, he probably needs a breather for, 15, 20 seconds to get back on it. Probably a lot of yelling as well, obviously being very hyped, but here we go. There was a timeout being called, and it leads into a B rush from C9, and a nice hold from Hampus. That's a quick shutdown, leaving only Alex with NiP 5 members alive. I was going to say, it's an added bonus if they stay to keep all their members alive. Plopsky just going down is still fine, but we don't want Alex to do any more damage here.
Yeah, this is exactly the kind of round they needed. Hampus is moving all the way up long, so looking to close out the map as fast as possible. If you're stacked on A, you can have a player at bank stairs to keep an eye on across. Sorry, stacked on B, you can have a player at bank to make sure there's no flank. But these are the positions they have. Alex is destroying them. Oh god, this is suddenly getting very expensive indeed. Res caught sleeping, and there's another 1v1 for Alex. We'll see who's sharper now, looking beyond the angle actually. Now save Twist will help him. My god, that was way more expensive than we expected. So
yeah, and they were already more shape to be with.
Yeah, despite getting shredded on Monster, they got a lot more out of that than one might have thought so. So it's pretty good.
And it's rounds like that will force C9 to buy again here now, because Alex did so much economical damage. And again, even if it was the 15, right? Like if this was round number 10, for example, you would still buy here because of the damage he'd done. Yeah, we see again the buy, right? Like sure, it's a little bit stronger from NiP this time around, but Plopsky is still forced on that SMG.
I like the cool post. I was just gonna say, I like the cool post timeout as well, to just rush B Monster. Like those really fast rushes, it feels like that is not expected after a team is timed out.
So it leads me to believe it might have been an NiP timeout, and for them to talk about stuff and doing something cool, and for C9 to just do a B exit play.
Rez, great player around the A side of the map. Always has been, always will be. Nork as well there to assist. Plopsky chimes in too. It's looking pretty amazing right now for the Swedes. Mostly Swedes.
Oh, they're all Swedes.
They're all Swedes. Okay, no, I can't, you know what I'm doing right now is I mix up NiP and Dig.
Yeah,
it just happens in my brain all the time.
Listen, the conversation is always that we're technically all the same, right? We're all Scandinavian. If you ask Swedes versus Norwegians, we all like to have fun with each other. There's a lot of old jokes the Swedes have with Norwegians, and same thing goes the other way around. But yeah, they're all 5 Swedes. Coach as well in threat, obviously being Swedish. So they've kept the trend. I think a full Swedish lineup.
Well, I like it.
Yeah, C9 opting now, obviously with that last round with NiP being very dominant, C9 in no longer position of money resetting NiP, so going for Nico. But we always talk about the Deagles, man. Even without the armors, all you need is the one Deag, and that's what Floppy gets. Gets a kill on Hampus. You need more of that, though. No utility, no armor.
I like what NiP's doing as well. They're taking control of sewers, so they can more easily control this position and help their team play for retake, as opposed to be super committed on the site and possibly get wrecked. And so they also get some warning here. Good information, a nice kill picked up by Twist. I love this from NiP. It's a great response.
Yeah, and Twist being very active there. Timing was definitely in his favor. Obviously, I was not expecting him to push there. And because of that, it's going to fall apart. You lose way too much map control when that happens. You still get the 1 kill, though. We'll see if Seppa can get us another one. Maybe even 2. We heard a little chat there. So normally when you hear that, tends to be a timeout. But it might also have been an HP call. I was gonna say, was wondering what Alex would have done. He had 4.8k, so he would have done a black glass cannon op without anything else, but opts for full set of utility, AK armor. I think that's a good approach. We do know that Knock has an AWP though, so want to pay attention to him where he's going. Seems to be going aggressive long.
Very aggressive indeed. Spots the leg, elevated position. Rez now, difficult to fall back from, but look how clean that shot was as soon as he saw Alex. Very efficient crosshair. That allows the 5 versus 3. Mezzy quietly leaving his position now, just as NiP are starting to wonder. In fact, we have Rez pushing through connector, taking yet more liberties, Ninjas and Pyjamas in this 5 versus 3. See if the timing will favor Mezzy as he's just gone down the stairs at the wrong time. Quietly all the way. Right now we've got Hampus, the main focus of the B bomb site, but I would expect some rotation. Once Rez has cleared some of these areas out, we can see on the radar now as Twist makes his way towards B, and maybe Nork as well.
Nice opening there, and off the back of that, they'll have to push, but indeed this push in the back is going to be a problem there. There's a flank already set up and it's looming, but that may not be necessary. Twist and Nork able to do so much damage there. And NiP really finding their footing at the moment, and it's Cloud9 that are going to have to start to figure out what some answers could look like, given the success of NiP, and they're going to be on a half buy in this next following round. And this is something we didn't see too much from Cloud9. We see Rez going a little bit aggressive around Fountain, using those initial opening nades, confirming information, which allows him to then do much more with his team. Whereas Cloud9 are playing way more passively.
Yeah, and I liked it as well. Knock didn't even have to spot anyone. I think the bait just from the op shot alone gives Rez the 2 kills, essentially, was looking for. And we kind of see as well, I would have liked for C9 now, the difference. C9 has done a lot of executes right off the bat. I would like for them to kind of slow it down a little bit now. They've been
having great fun with this org.
Yeah.
Been shredding people, like mechanically separating the chicken.
I think it's coming a little bit more back in style. They haven't changed much with the weapon, but I think with the nerfs and all that, to Adam's point on map 1, I think an argument can be made that August definitely viable on a lot of CT maps.
Yeah, starting to see some smiles now on the side of NiP, and that success in the first half seems to be kind of forgotten for Cloud9. As there's that 1,000-yard stare we're seeing.
They're focused, James. Timeout, Alma Putty talking a little bit. Trying to get the boys on track. But yeah, I think they've had somewhat the same problems that NiP had early, that they're trying to go for very quick map control and lose a man early. And to what you pointed out here as well, James Sodan, that NiP has a different approach where they are fighting a little bit more for mid. So same molly, default molly coming in, and even if you don't do anything with it, CT's here that they at least distinguished the flames, so the call should be made at least that it could be up mid.
Yeah, it's a tough job for S-Tag as the only person towards the A-bomb site. Not a lot he can do to show presence.
Great off angle there from Hampus. That's a huge kill too. There's so many players there. If they were to get that frag, they could really string together a push onto the B site proper, but that causes them to slow things down, sit on the sewers control they have, develop their bathrooms control as well. But they don't have any smokes remaining. They've got a single Molotov and just a handful of flares. For Cloud9 to get onto a side or play a post plant requires stuff like that from Mezzi and S-Tag just picking up the frags. NiP looking for info, getting punished very, very much so. And now Cloud9 are in a pretty strong position. No, it gets even worse. They still don't have nades to get onto the site, really. But they're getting open aim battles, so...
Yeah, with all the rotations happening, especially getting the kills on the A-bomb side there, C9 was still in a position where they could have just executed B, and that's exactly what's happening.
Oh, they can't afford many of those. Hampus, maybe they're considering going for this. They've got the money for a buy next round anyway, so it looks like they will be. As bad as it looks. God, that was an implosion of a round from Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Yeah, it started off so well, too.
Yeah. It's got picks all over the place. Almost at exactly the same time, Cloud9 opened up B and A.
It's interesting too, because it's almost, to me, it's almost a lack of, well, I don't know if it's a lack of confidence per se, but they felt the need to try to get information, even though they had the 5 versus 4, and could have tried to play that game. And on top of that, they should have understood that C9 didn't really have any utility. So the only way C9 get onto a site is by running onto a site.
Where was that? I can't even see the kill. Oh, there we go. It's underpass.
Connector,
Okay.
yeah. So he's going for that fast peek. It's so satisfying to land that shot, just the movement and the process. So satisfying to land that shot and then leave. Won't talk about all the times I've missed it. Oh, that's a nice headshot from Nork, looking for a third. He's got info maybe on 2 players. Not sure if that was just my X-ray or if he saw 2 of the final 3. Rez, that one should be free for him. It more or less is. You can see Zephyr falling back to give Rez some attention, but that will limit the progress the remainder of Cloud9 can make for the time being. 2 on 4. Rez playing T angles now as Cloud9 look for him. He'll peek every so often. Both hold the angle. Mezzi looking in the right place, but Rez just wasting time out. Look at the rotation from all the other NiP players. Doesn't need to fight to the death there. Just keeps Zephyr contained. As soon as he gets that kill, look how much he's surrounded now. There's not much air to breathe for Zephyr. He'll have to clutch this one out. 19 HP. Great play by Rez to allow his team to collapse on Zephyr and finish off the round. They're only 4 behind.
Only 4 behind. You would have hoped if you're NiP here to put C9 on a save, but there's still enough money for one more round. Yeah, and just this bathroom area here, not getting the first one, I think really sets this round tumbling, with Rez being aggressive on long as well. Rez having a good series. 26 kills in his name. And we didn't see a timeout, but we do see Molotov being extinguished in mid and C9 taking that map control fast. This is what I was talking about. You go straight right instead. So when CTs land 2 mollies, you just smoke off the first one. Very much the same approach they had, I think, first weapon round on this side.
This is pretty scary, isn't it? Rez, oh, he needs 2 there, I think. And they're expecting someone to come up from the connected position. That's really well played by Cloud9. NiP are in a horrible place now. What do you do if you're NiP in this situation? Trying to get info, that's honestly too risky. Do you stack aside, you play retake somewhere? Like, there's no good answers here. You have to get lucky in one of your guesses.
Yeah, because normally you would make the argument you can push if there's like 30 seconds left, but because obviously C9 with 4 members alive, I do think you go for a gamble play here, and obviously NiP has gambled for that A-bomb site. Hampus does rotate back though, so they have made the right call here.
38 seconds on the clock as Cloud9 move in. That's a great shot from Floppy, and Nork has so much to do. Floppy crouching, standing, falling now. Nork has a kit. got most of his health.
Oh, that's so
Throwing his pistol
smart.
away. And down to his doom he goes. Cloud9 will take Overpass, a stonking CT half, and they finish it off in a T half to take things to Train.
Indeed, Train it is. It's going to be a really, really tough one, I think, now. I feel like Cloud9 have the wind behind their sails. And Train's a great map for them. We saw them having some struggles there against Furia, but ultimately they felt like they played stronger. So it's going to be, I think, a great showdown. I feel like it'll be the best place for these two teams to play each other, to give us a good show at least.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was now, but I think it was C9 CD side on Train that was pretty good, or you can make an argument maybe Furia's T side wasn't very good, but yeah, I mean, nonetheless, C9 absolutely. Oh, there we go.
That's
a very old school image.
Yes,
where
it is,
the bomb used to be.
I miss crouching under those things. It's been a youngster, just sitting under there doing nothing in particular, not helping my team, just being there like, oh, this is fun, this is cool. Anyway,
a lot of things have changed since Train, but we'll see the new version after the break. We'll be right back.